If you just started making your resume or you're looking for quick ways to improve it, this video is for you. Welcome back to another video at Technically Gifted. I'm Kobe Brooks, 23-year-old software engineer, about a year and a half into his career. Today I'm going to share some tips that I use to help me land my first job, but also continually improve my resume.
3, 2, 1.
Okay. The first thing I want to talk about is using outside resources to actually improve the words that are on your resume. Now, everybody's heard of the AI resume editors. Personally, I love using ChatGPT because it is so personalizable. I'm going to show a prompt on the screen. I actually made a TikTok about this that helps you pull out keywords that hiring managers are looking for and also gives you great reasoning for why you should change a paragraph on your resume a certain way. This is just another tool in your toolbox that allows you to be creative but also very formal depending what role you're going for. It really allows you to make your resume flexible, especially because it's so easy just to type in a prompt and feed it a paragraph. Now, another thing I love about this is you can personalize this prompt. Rather than having this prompt spit you out a paragraph based on your experience, you can also have it give you bullet points. Once again, this is really cool because it allows you to be concise, creative, and also stand out in a formal way. It's important to note and point out though, as good as ChatGPT and other AI language models are at spitting out text, especially specified text, it's only as good as the prompt you give it. So you have to really work at it and continually improve your prompt to get great results for your resume. Now, after you use ChatGPT or some AI outside resource to at least give you a second look over what's on your resume, you want to be able to format it prettier. That's the second thing I really love talking about. Don't be afraid to make your resume different. A lot of people are going to come out with this resume that, a lot of college recruiters or professors wrote for them or helped them write, and they all look the same. They're all boring, to be honest. I'm going to show the typical resume here, and I'm going to show my resume. Mine has helped me stand out, and I've gotten a comment every time I've done an interview. Wow, your resume is so creative. It's important to note here, you want your resume to be creative, but still professional. It shouldn't have too much going on. It should still be easy to figure out what are your qualifications and what are your experiences. Now, this brings up another topic of argument that a lot of people have. Do I have paragraphs on my resume or do I have bullet points? Personally, I like a mix. I like explaining my experience in a paragraph. It's a lot easier to get the point across about what you've done and also showcase who you are. And then using bullet points for things that are easy to list. For example, I'm a software engineer, so listing my coding languages that I know. This also means listing like services and frameworks that I'm good at or that I know I'm proficient with. Once again, if you're going to format it, make sure the keywords are easy to find. ChatGPT is good for this, once again, by showing you and giving you keywords based upon your experience, but make sure these are easy to find, whether you have to bold them, put them in their own bullet list, whatever it is. You want to make sure that these keywords are easy to find because this is what recruiters look for. They actually feed your resume most of the time through some program that is just scanning word by word to pull out the keywords, and those are the people they reach out to, are the resumes that have these keywords. Now, your hiring manager, usually the person after your first interview or so, are going to be the people actually looking at your resume. They're going to be reading it, they're going to be digesting it, and seeing where they can fit you within a team. This is where it's important to have a pretty resume or a resume that stands out and that is memorable, because it's a lot easier to catch the eye of someone when you're being a little bit different but still very professional. Once again, this is the stage that I've gotten a lot of good compliments of, like, hey, you grabbed my attention with this resume and it's really creative. Last thing I want to talk about is mentioning your top projects or recent experience. I can only speak to my experience and my job search, and I know that being a software engineer, your experience is king. So as you go on and you get more experience, as you build more projects, the college section on your resume should get smaller and smaller and smaller. If you have a degree, that should always be there. That should never leave. But talking about like your clubs and other extracurriculars that you did will have to get smaller and smaller so you can actually highlight the things that you've done in the professional field. What can you do for me now is kind of what a company's looking at, not what have you done when you were 20 years old. Once again, if you're like a junior engineer, if you're someone looking for your first job out of college, do not be afraid to have it on there. Your GPA and your school will help you elevate to the top of the list of like the recruiting pool. But after you're talking about a job or two in, a year or two in, it's good to start replacing that college experience with real world professional experience or even just projects if you haven't had that much professional experience yet. This shows that you are still dedicated to your craft even after being in a structured environment designed to help you succeed. Now, those are the three things that I think have helped me land my job and continually get interviews now. Once again, not being afraid to use AI, not being afraid to make my resume different, and lastly, making sure that I highlight my most recent experiences, not including college. Thank you for watching. Don't be afraid to share any comments below of things that you may disagree with or that you have added to your resume to help you be successful and get interviews. Once again, this is a knowledge space for all. Thank you for watching. Let's keep sharing and building this.